What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to have a little bit of a look at, Riftbound. And yes, I know it was literally yesterday that I showed you Riftbound was a thing and Riftbound was coming. I am well aware of this. But it turns out they've actually gone and put all of the products up for pre-order over at distributors, which basically means we now have a complete look at the product lineup for the release of the set. Plus, we've got release dates of some description, far from complete, but we've got something. We got product images, we frankly got a lot. So let's start off with what is obviously the biggest thing here, and that is the booster box. Yeah, that's right. Booster boxes are coming. Now, there are 24 packs in a box, and I need to give a shout out here. Riftbound Report has been sharing this information, as have Cosmic Plays. So shout out to both of those handles for sharing a bunch of this as well. But basically, these are retailing for $120, which makes them $5 a pack. $5 a pack is honestly pretty standard right now. One Piece have gone up to $5 a pack. Star Wars Unlimited have always been $5 a pack. Honestly, Lorcana are more than $5 a pack. So, yeah, $5 a pack works. I know a lot of people want to look at it and go, oh, $5 a pack, that's a little bit much. It's not a little bit much nowadays. I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, $5 a pack, that is standard for TCGs. It's not cheap, but that's not bad, ladies and gentlemen. That's not too bad. That's pretty much standard. What do you get in a pack for your $5? Well, we got that information as well. What you get in there are 7 commons, 3 uncommons, 3 foils, and a token, which is a 14-card pack, which is actually quite a lot. 11 is about standard, although Star Wars got to like 16, but yeah, 11's about standard, so honestly, 14, including a token, that's quite good. The real question here is, what do they mean by foils? And the answer is, we don't know. Now, judging by other TCGs, and let's be clear, when I talk about, looking at other TCGs, well, yeah, why would you not? Like UVS, who remember are kind of launching the game, they run a TCG, and they're good at what they do. And obviously, they are going to be looking at other card games and what they do. So yeah, they're going to look at other TCGs. And my inkling here would be 2 rare cards, which come as foil as standard, and 1 random rarity foil card. That's what Pokemon does, for instance. That's what a bunch of card games do. So that would be my inkling here. Would be 2 rares that are foil and 1 random rarity foil. That is not confirmed. But, 2 rares and a foil, a random rarity foil, that's something we've seen in TCGs a lot. That would be my inkling. So here's a full description of the booster box. Origins, the debut set of Riftbound League of Legends TCG. Oh yeah, it's called Origins. Should have told you that. Brings champions to the battlefield like never before. Powering up your deck with 14-card booster packs that pull from a pool of nearly 300 cards, this set features a wide variety of art from legendary League of Legends artists. Will you pull an epic game changer, a stunning alternate art card, or a pack loaded with power? And what we've got here is, well, the breakdown which I told you a minute ago. Signature custom League art, featuring original art from some of the most celebrated artists in League of Legends history. Power in every box, with approximately 6 epic rarity cards appearing in each box, and special art cards appearing once per case. Every opening is an event, and like I told you yesterday, it's designed for one-on-one, but can be played with larger groups. Now, here's the thing that's making me slightly worried here. I'm loving, and I mean loving, the 6 epic rarity per box. That's 1 every 4 packs. That's a really nice pull rate for these top rarity cards. That makes me happy. I am not loving these 1 per case alternate arts. Now, I believe the cases are 6 boxes. That is on the distributor website. So it is 6 displays per case. So that basically gives you an alternate art, 1 in every 6 boxes. Or, to put it another way, 1 in every 144 packs. Now, the cards I'm showing on the screen during this video are just random cards, yeah? They're the only ones we've got. What I will say is we've not seen these alternate art. On the one hand, I'm not really a big fan of this. On the other hand, this is actually becoming pretty standard for new TCGs. Have a look at Lorcana and their enchanted cards, which, although we've never been told specifically, they seem to be 1 every 4 boxes. With the boxes being the same size, that makes them actually less rare than these League of Legends alternate arts. But then Star Wars Unlimited have their showcases, which are 1 every 12 boxes, which makes them twice as rare as these League of Legends alt arts. The thing is, we've seen this with both showcases for Star Wars, and we've seen it in Enchanted for Lorcana. People will open box after box after box after box after box and not pull anything. There is another issue here, and this is a very big issue. If it is 1 per case guaranteed, and we've seen this in other card games in the past, don't ever buy a loose box from a seller you don't trust unless you are willing to give up the chance to pull an alt art. Because I'm telling you right now, this shouldn't happen, but it absolutely will. If they are guaranteed 1 per case, there will be a lot of sellers who open boxes, and if they hit the alt art, they will just sell the rest of the case. Star Wars is 1 in 12 boxes, but it's not guaranteed 1 per case. Lorcana is on average what we think 1 in 4 boxes, but I've seen cases with 2, I've seen cases with none. I've seen boxes with 2, weirdly, that's very rare. But if it is guaranteed 1 per case, that's actually a bad thing, which I very much dislike. If it's 1 per case, what that means is we will get a lot of dud boxes being sold. By dud boxes, I mean no chance of an alternate art. And from what we see here, it certainly looks like it's 1 per case. That's a bad thing if it's guaranteed 1 per case. People will be selling dead boxes with no chance of an alt art. So buy from stores you trust, or pay a price that represents the fact there is not an alt art in there. We also don't need to go into any detail here, but they're also selling 48-pack cartons of sleeved boosters. Basically, that just means individual sleeved boosters. We've seen this for years in games like Pokemon, for instance. We've seen this in a bunch, where you've got the regular booster packs, which you get in boxes, and then the sleeved ones, which come in a cardboard sleeve. And the reason for these very simply is so that they can be hung up in shops. So you can buy the regular, or you can buy the one that's actually hung up in the shop. These are very much for the shop to make it easier to display them, but also it means that you've got then a 1 in 144 chance of pulling an alt art. Now, in terms of the starter decks, we've got 3 of these, one featuring Lee Sin. We saw the artwork for this yesterday, but we didn't actually see the card. One featuring Victor, we did see the card yesterday, and one featuring Jinx. So let's have a quick look at the descriptions. Lee Sin reads like this. Kick into gear with Lee Sin, the blind monk and strike of unwavering discipline in this champion deck. In this pre-constructed 56 card deck, now we know how large decks are, Lee Sin seeks to outmatch any opponent he faces as he seeks to win battles, power up units through buffs, and protect its empowered units through defensive spells. And then we've got the contents here. Ready to play with a full 56 card pre-constructed deck designed for accessible and dynamic gameplay. Upgrade with ease includes 3 rare cards with a clear path to competitive upgrades. What's frustrating here is that when we look at the descriptions for the booster packs, which must come from the company, well, they talk about commons, uncommons, and foils. This talks about rares. That's inconsistent, but it does basically guarantee that rares are foils. So the 3 foils, some of them are rares, but not all of them are rares. So it's going to be 2 rares and 1 random foil, or 1 rare and 2 random foils. It's not confirmed, but that's the only thing that really makes sense. Extras keep you in the action. Comes with a full-size paper playmat. They're cool, but they're not going to be great for tournaments. A booster pack for customization, and deck building tips. Now, these are retailing for $20, but they come with a booster pack. So they're a bit more expensive than you would expect, but they come with a booster pack. Having said that, the new Star Wars decks come with a booster pack, and Lorcana decks come with a booster pack. This is just becoming a thing nowadays. Nowadays, new card games basically launch and they have booster packs inside the starter decks. This is just a thing now. And I know I keep comparing this to Lorcana and Star Wars Unlimited. Well, yeah. Because outside of Bandai card games, which do things a little bit differently, these are the other two decently sized TCGs that have launched in the past couple of years. The non-Bandai ones. So you know what? Yeah. I think it's probably fair that we do make that comparison. Or those comparisons. So $20 with a booster pack honestly seems about right. There's a booklet inside that lets you learn the game with easy to follow rules and a deck building guide, a custom paper deck box which won't last 5 minutes but is still going to be pretty cool, and then there's a bit of information there. One single row display, 4 decks. Basically, that's just telling the shop how they're going to display them. Remember, this information comes from distributors to shops. This isn't designed to be selling to consumers, which is why it sometimes sounds a little bit weird. Now, I'm not going to go through the ins and outs of starter decks with the rest of them because we've literally just done that, but I will give you the blurb for the others. Victor we saw yesterday. Bring in the minions. Victor brings overwhelming numbers of his champion deck. This pre-constructed 56 card deck is built to swarm your opponents, packed with fast-paced plays and easy upgrades to competitive builds. Cool. And then we've got Jinx. Blow it all up. Jinx's pre-constructed 50-card deck is filled with aggressive units, explosive spells, and features an iconic champion card of Jinx herself. Get out there and see what she's made of. Now, when it comes to starter decks, the real question we're always asking is it worth buying these? Well, the fact that they come with booster packs helps out massively. That makes them a lot better. The other thing we're looking for is, are the cards in here unique? Do we have to buy the starter deck to get these cards? The answer is no. At least as far as we can tell. 2 of the legends here, Lynx and Victor, we've literally already seen. And look in the bottom left-hand corner, Jinx is 251 and Victor is 265 out of 298. We know they're not starter deck exclusive, so yeah. Maybe there will be some starter deck exclusive cards in there, but this heavily suggests not. Unfortunately, this is where we are with this game at the moment. I can't tell you exactly what the free foils are, but we can look at other card games, and if there's one thing I know at this point, it's card games, and make a pretty good guess. I can't tell you there's no exclusive cards in there, but I can make a pretty good guess based on what we do know. Now, the other product we've got is Proving Grounds. This is one I told you about yesterday, and basically, you get 4 decks built around Annie, Master Yi, Lux, and Garen. It is designed for 2 to 4 players, and it sets you up with decks designed around fan-favourite characters. Here's a description. Complete out-of-the-box play includes pre-built decks designed for balanced matchups, making it easy for anyone to learn and start battling immediately. Multiplayer mayhem. Supports 2 to 4 players with flexible gameplay modes, from head-to-head duels to strategic alliances and shifting battles. Step-by-step learning. A guided play experience. This has become trendy in TCGs and I love it. Basically, it means that a couple of the decks at least will come stacked in a certain way, and there will be a booklet which tells you how to play the first few turns to help you learn. A guided play experience helps new players master the game quickly, while deck upgrade suggestions provide an easy transition to competitive play through boosters, sold separately. Track Your Victory includes brand new custom acrylic champion figures featuring Annie, Master Yi, Lux, and Garen, with double-sided expressions, happy when you're winning, grumpy when you're not. I love this. The ultimate first step, whether you're a long-time League fan or a newcomer to trading card games, Proving Grounds is the perfect way to begin your Riftbound journey. I told you about this yesterday, so I don't need to repeat what I said there, but basically what we've got here is just a product which is designed more along the lines of like a board game where you can play it straight out the box, you don't need anything else there, and it's all just in the box ready to go to make it as easy as possible to get new people in and play in this game. So there we go. This is all due for release in October in the US. I would think it's a fair guess that we are going to be getting it in the UK at this time as well. Please don't take that as guaranteed. That is very much just conjecture. Remember, it's launching in China in the summer. That means China's getting a couple months head start. So there we go. All the products revealed, everything you need to know, and a lot of what I think are pretty sensible guesses about the stuff we don't. And now it's over to you guys. How hyped are you for Riftbound? Tell me any of your predictions, all your hopes and dreams in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Riftbound and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross and you've been watching Wasi Plays.